Good afternoon or evening or morning, I guess, depending on where you happen to be. How is everybody doing today? Can you guys all hear me? Somebody put a yes in the question box just so I know you can hear me. Perfect. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Mark, Pierre, William, Edward, how you doing? Edward, my neighbor. Am I correct? Am I thinking the right Edward? Mr. Jerome? Are you the gentleman in Minnesota? Yeah, that's what I thought. I actually meant to give you a call this afternoon, and you know how those things go. I just haven't gotten around to dialing your number, but we'll definitely have to have a coffee one of these days and see if we can't figure some Minnesota-style things out. I hope everybody's doing real good. What we're going to do, we don't have any presentation put together or anything like that for you here. This is strictly Q&A. Technical Q&A to get you going. Make sure you've got your system installed. Anything that we can do to get you profitable as quickly as we can. That's what we're all about today. Of course, with me as always are my partners, Ed Hopkins and Christopher Griffin. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you, Dave? How you doing, everybody?
Doing great. How's everybody doing?
Awesome. Awesome. We got a lot of awesomes coming in the question box here. So let's see, will all Q&As be text or will you allow audio? No, Mark, if you'd like to jump on the call, there's a little icon thing where you can raise your hand, and if you've got a headset and a microphone with you, that's just fine. I'm the same way. I don't like to type. I'd rather talk because I have trouble explaining things when I type. And I've got a bunch, I think I have 10 thumbs for fingers. It doesn't look like it, but that's sure how it translates into the keyboard. So we'll get this thing started. If anybody's got any questions, please punch them in. And Mark, I'm going to take a look at the attendee list and see if you've got your hand up. If you want to jump on, you can certainly be the first one. Otherwise, we will, like I said, punch your questions in, and let's get moving on this thing. I don't see any hands up. I'll come back and check that in a minute. Can you show how to integrate PayPal and set up subscription payments? Yes. We should probably, Ed, most of you are going to be using, I'll tell you what, I'll run through it real quick here on the back-end software because it can be done there as well. However, most of you are going to want to do your payments through the SPS system. So in the back-end software, it's as simple as going into Settings and PayPal information. And you can get all of this from PayPal. You just go to PayPal, My Profile, My Settings, and view your API information. And all of this information will be right there, and you just plug it in. Now when you create packages, they can sign up right here, and I'll just do that real quick. You can see I have this package right here, and very frankly, we don't use this very often because we have the SPS system, but I'll show it to you. When you're in packages, you'll see the URL up top here is packages_list.php. If you just go to package.php, you can view your package widgets, okay? And these are live. If I click this right now, it will try and connect to PayPal, but it will error out because there's no PayPal information entered. Within the package, I can edit it, and right here is iframe code. Okay, and that iframe code can be used to drop that widget onto any existing website. But like I said, we usually don't take a payment in the Wrecking Ball system, in the gateway system. We're usually going to take a payment in the front-end SPS system. So I'm going to pass the screen to Ed and let him show you real quick what the right way to do it is. Let's see, I'll make you a presenter, Ed. Coming your way.
Okay, so the question was, how do you create a subscription button in PayPal? Is that right?
Correct. How do you hook up to PayPal and start taking subscriptions?
All right, first thing you want to do is you're going to want to go to Create Pays. You want to create a new button. Now right here, it already tells you what you set your return URL to be and what your item ID should be. So what you're going to do, you're going to take this URL. Now you're going to go into PayPal. They've totally changed their structure here. I don't know why they did that. So it kind of makes all my videos pretty useless. You see this, Dave, how they changed it?
Oh, look at that.
So you're going to click on Create a Payment Buttons for your website. Let me wait for this to load. Now, it's going to be a subscription. And you're going to create your item name. And then it told me to put ID for this to be done. And now you're going to set your billing for each cycle. And billing cycle 1 month. They changed this too.
They sure did. Look at that. Plus, I know PayPal's got a big monster update I've been getting warnings about on the 19th. So God only knows what else is going to change.
Well, it used to, okay, let me do this. So you're going to set it for every 30 days, or if you're in a leap year, 20, 28, but set it for 30. And then how many cycles? Never. You don't need to do the trial period in this particular case because SPS automatically just creates the trial and it's not really a payment button. And then you're going to go to Customize My Advanced Features. You're going to go to Take My Customers to this URL. You're going to plug in what it gave you here. Let me go back. Right here. To there. And then you're going to do an address, you're going to do a notify URL override. So just take this here, copy it, and the URL for your notification is going to be this information here, and then you're going to put pr2.php, create the button. You're going to go to email. You're going to copy it. And then down here, there's your button URL. Let me go ahead and complete this so you'll see what it's going to look like. 29.99. List size 300. Bear with me. No. Monthly plan. And we think we're good to go. Submit. Button is created. Come back here, it's added to the list. Now let me jump over to the demo. Let's see how that button works out.
And just so everybody knows on the call, we are recording this, and I'm going to take a note. I'm going to take notes of everything that we covered, and then we'll post that in the recorded or in the members area, so you can review the video and pause it and see what was covered and at what time in the video.
So I'll run through that again. View our plans. Here's the buy button. It'll take them to PayPal. Once they're done paying, they're sent back to the URL that you entered for the return, And then on that IPN URL that you add at the very last box, what that's going to do is going to notify your system of a payment. You're going to get notified, and it's going to set up their account, all that good stuff.
Yeah. What PayPal's adding, they have a swipe feature coming out where you can swipe your card right from a device that hooks onto the mobile phone.
Yeah, I saw that coming too. I've been getting a lot of warnings from PayPal via email that they're doing some type of major network overhaul on the 19th, and we should expect a new look. Either that or I've been getting scam emails from somebody. I guess that's a possibility. Let's see. Ralph says, does it matter what order you install the software, SMS and then SPS or vice versa? No, it does not, Ralph. It doesn't matter at all.
I do want to add, it just so happens on both systems they're sharing a similar session variable. So if you're on the same server with SPS and SMS, just different folders, what's going to happen is you might find, depending on your settings in your browser, if you log out, you try to log into your SMS system, or if you're live in the SPS and you try to go in the SMS, it's not going to let you in because the session, I call it cookie confusion because your browser's confused with where the cookie should be letting you in at. So ideally what you should do is always use for SPS one browser like Chrome, and then for the Wrecking Ball SMS Gateway, maybe use Firefox. That way you don't run into those problems.
Got it. Got it. And I should also say that I'm on HostGator with Chrome, and I don't have that issue. And you know, so I don't think it's across the board. But if you start having a goofy login issue someday, that could be part of it. It's just a matter of the cookie confusion, like Ed was saying. Ned says, I'm having trouble previewing the tutorials for SPS. They will not buffer. Yeah, Ned, we've been getting a lot of that in the support desk, and we don't really know exactly why, because they're both hosted on S3 on fast servers and everything. So we're working on a solution to it, and we should have them available in the member site tomorrow, either on another host or in another format. We really can't figure out why that's happening.
Yeah, and I'm going to push you this URL for everybody else too. This is a direct link to the video downloads. If you have your browser set to open MP4s in, let's say, Windows Media or another program, you click on it and you right-click it, and then Open As. It should just pop right open in your browser. There it is.
Yeah. You might not be able to open it up in Windows Movie Player, but
yeah, okay, and let's see. The phone number shows with a +1, but you don't have to dial a +1 when using a US cell. Yeah, that's correct, Daphne. You don't have to dial the +1. For programming purposes, you'll see the +1 pop up in a lot of different places, and it's used to identify a country code, and it's kind of become an international standard, so we've adopted it as well, and that's why you see it, even though you don't need it if you're US to US. Let's see. I'm having issues with support. Can't answer question like, how do I access the webinar? What's the registration page for my prospects to register for this webinar?
Okay, you have the wrong install. What I'm going to do, I'm going to push this link to you where you can download the new update. So I'm going to right-click this, copy link address. You're going to want to take these files in the zip. You're going to want to unzip it and then transfer it over, just overwrite everything. It's not going to affect your settings and any work you've already done. It's just going to give you the most recent update, and your webinar is going to appear. The link is off the button on the front side website right here. So it's going to be your URL plus webinar.php, and then the login area, just add dash login.php.
All right, and Brian says, how do you turn free trial customers into paid customers?
Well, first they got to pay.
Right. That's the important part.
Yeah, inside the system.
Yeah, I think
The system does it. The system has an auto detection feature. If you remember when I did that button, made that button, I used that pr2.php link on the very last box. That notifies my system or your system that this is the type of button that is either a monthly or yearly. It's a conversion from a free trial to a paid, and the system will automatically do all of that. But let's say the guy cuts you a check or something. So I'm going to show you how to manually assign them to a particular plan. You're going to go to Members. Then you're going to enter in there. Find the gentleman's account or lady. Come down here, Current Plan, and set it to the plan, and bam, you're done. And then put in the last login. This will already be filled out because they'll log in after they activate their account.
Cool. Let's see. When will the alternative payment method mentioned in the presentation to PayPal be available? How close are we, Ed, with the merchant account integration?
A couple days, and those of you that want to start getting set up for it, it's firstdata.com. That's the actual system that we use to communicate. That's a division of Card Services International.
So, and once we're past this first step, there may be more coming as well. You know, if there's a demand for them, obviously we'll look at them. Ed, is there a master CSS file that they can change to change font sizes globally on the SPS site?
If you refer to the text, you can do that from within your editor. Let me show you here real quick. Let me create a new session. You're going to go to Content, and let's say you go to this page here. You can do it either two ways. You can just screw around with this, change the font size, or there is a button here that will allow you to create a CSS file, custom CSS. You can write your custom CSS right here, and then assign it to the particular paragraph or table.
Okay, and Ed, will that apply to the /members/contact PHP page? Is there any way to edit that? That's what he's asking. That came in a couple of questions later.
Let me check. Just so I know what he's talking about, I gotta see it. I've done so much work on this, I sometimes forget. This is, I believe this is static content. If this is something you're looking to edit, just open this in your, what you see is what you get editor. If you have Microsoft Expression or some sort of FTP editor, just open up this file and you'll be able to see this line inside the HTML and just go ahead and edit it at will.
Got it. Got it. Let's see. If we're taking payments through SPS, then why do we need all that info into the SMS? You don't, Lance. I just wanted to show it to you because it is there, and I thought that would ease some questions if we just showed it to you.
Yeah, you can still keep in mind. Let's say it gets to be too overbearing. Let's say you have one client that's just ripping it up and has like 10,000 subscribers, and you want to send an SMS every day, and you find yourself always logging in, creating campaigns, you're getting sick of it. You can just give them access to the back end of the gateway with a client account, and what you can do is give them access, and after that, the payments will still be taken by the front-end system here.
Right. Right. So basically what you would do in the back-end system would be just ignore all of the billing and just set a package up that's big enough to swallow up that client, but then still use the front-end system to take your payments because it's much, much more robust. You're always going to want to use the front-end prospecting system to take care of your billing when possible. Can you limit functionality for lower-end packages? Like if a low-end package I only wanted to give? Yes, absolutely, Norman. Let me show you that. Ed, I'll take the screen back from you here real quick. And this is a great from where we just came from. Again, we were just talking about packages, Norman. So what you would do is you would want to put a client on a package that had these limiting features. So you would add a new package for ease of display. I'm just going to edit this one. And you can see down here it says View App Tools. If you check that, then only the things that you checked will show up on a client side, on the client side login for this package. So if you assign the client then to package 1 and you only have a couple of things checked, only those couple of things are going to show up when that client logs in. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you have any suggestions on pricing for the packages? Yeah, we've talked about this a little bit. You need to cover your time, but we need to keep in mind that SMS is a fairly hands-off business. So, and it's a commodity-based business. You're buying a commodity as a reseller. You should be marking it up a certain profit margin and reselling it. If you're shooting for about a nickel a text, you're going to find that you're in pretty good shape when you break that down to a monthly type of campaign. For a typical restaurant that's going to have a list somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 500 people, something like that, that's going to be a good running average for them. You should be right in the $100 a month range, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But pricing is something that everyone's going to have to kind of feel their way into a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll add something on that too. And if you're working with the client throughout the trial, you can kind of gauge how much hand-holding that's going to be required with that client if you get involved, and if they're just totally needing tons of help. I mean, you can get an idea of how much time you're going to have to spend, and obviously you're going to charge accordingly for the time involved once they would convert over. So a lot of it's going to depend on the clients and obviously the number of signups. So again, it's going to be something that you're going to have to gauge on your own and play around with.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to get paid for your time, right? And you're paid quite well for how much work you have to do once you set up a campaign, because it runs on its own.
Yep, that's an excellent way to put that too, Chris. Let's see. Can you guys just give us a supplemental tutorial on how to set up the PayPal stuff? Yes, we can. Going to need a video for what's being covered right now due to all the changes in PayPal. Yeah, there's a lot of those questions. We will absolutely put that together, a supplemental video just for PayPal. In the members area right now, in the SMS section for the gateway, there is a video that does show you where to go get your API information. But we'll put together a start-to-finish PayPal video because there seems to be a lot of questions regarding that. This is a good one from Ralph. The video for SMS installation says delete the install folder. The video for the SPS says rename the install folder. Which is best practice? I strongly suspect Ed and I will argue about this. I say just delete it because I'm never going to have a use for it again. Ed is a coder, so Ed will say rename it so it's still there should he need to get back into it. I'm guessing. Is that correct, Ed?
Security purposes.
Yeah. Either way
there might be an
works.
instance where,
Go ahead.
yeah, there might be an instance. I ran into this a couple times where somebody has a certain settings on their server is off for PHP, whether it be fopen or PHP includes. Those are disabled, and you try to install it. Well, it's not going to install, so you're going to get an error. But what's going to happen is it's still going to install the SQL database. So you go back in, I give you a PHP ini file to upload. You try to run through it again, you're going to get another error because now it's going to show a duplicate database because it's already been installed. So what you got to do is make sure you keep that installed. Just rename it, and then if something goes awry, you can go back to the rename folder and it still works as an install folder.
Got it. Okay, so there you go. I would go with Ed's answer on that one, guys.
But on the wrecking ball, I think you definitely want to delete it.
Oh, okay.
On my system, you want to just rename it. On your system, you want to delete it because if you just leave that hanging around and you just name it install one, some guy could come to your site, just go to a path, and put install one, and totally screw up your life's work in a second.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so on the SMS system, delete it as the video instructs, and on the SPS system, really either rename or delete would get you done, but you'd be risking having to do a reinstall as opposed to a fix if that ever came up. Is that accurate then, Ed?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Perfect. But for 99% of you out there, if you did delete it from both systems, it probably wouldn't come up again. But best practice would be to rename it. Let's see. Where is the training that shows how you use the SMS for auto dealers and realtors? That's sitting over at the $1,000 a day Offline Empire site, and I will put a link to that in the members area for you, Mark. Most people have already seen it, so I guess I didn't think to put a link in the members area, but I'll get one over there because that's it's very, very relevant. Let's see. Bug. Here's a bug report. When creating packages, the system will make some of the package as custom and removes the visibility to regular clients. I don't quite understand that. Could you please, if it's truly a bug report, could you please put it in the support system so we have a record of it? That would be fantastic, and we will tear into it immediately.
Hey, I want to add too, when you guys are asking for support, when you come through the ticket system, just don't say, hey, I got an error. I mean, you got to tell us what your domain is, tell us what your name is. We need to know all that information so we can articulately respond to your query.
Yeah. The more information going into a support ticket, the less time we have to go back and forth with you, and the quicker we can get you fixed up. So put an extra couple minutes into the support ticket as you're typing it, and it'll save you lots and lots of time in the end. So Scott says big thanks to Ed with all of his help today. Got me up and going real quick. Let's see. As your main page to direct people to, you show bluevisions.us as your main page to direct people to, but with my install, the direct page is mydomain.info WSPS, and if I direct them to mydomain.info, it only shows the directories installed.
Yeah, you're going to want to come back. If you want to use the Blue Vision site as your main site, that needs to go on the main domain. You can add SPS to a folder if you want to, because you might already have an existing site on your main site. But if you have nothing there and you're intended to use SPS, the Blue Vision site as your main site, that needs to go in the root directory of your domain.
Yes, so not in an SPS folder, but right under the domain, Daphne.
Yeah, and if you don't want to go through all that, reinstalling it, you can do, I think it's called a 302 redirect inside cPanel, and it'll automatically forward anybody that comes to your main domain right to your folder.
Yeah, so you could set, Daphne, you could go into your cPanel and set a redirect from your main domain to the install that you've already got up if you want to do that. Let's see. All right, covered that one. Covered that one. Covered that one.
I can't believe there's no questions about keyword mirroring in the system.
Not yet, but there's a few of them here. It might be coming. How to explain the program to potential salesperson. Potential salespeople, what would be the best PowerPoint provided to explain the program? Also, are the 6-step slides used in the webinar available? I just want an easy approach, simple explain the program to a potential salesperson that would represent my agency. Yeah, we can supply you with that, Ralph. That's no problem. So I think what you're asking is, can we give you information to help train your salespeople? And absolutely, we can do that,
Yeah.
and we'll be more than happy to.
It's actually live on the web, so we can give them the link.
Oh, yeah.
Link right to it.
There we go. So, yeah,
Now,
put in a support ticket, Ralph, and we'll get you all those links.
keep in mind that the let's see, where is this? The section under SPS System Prospecting Tools, excuse me, SPS System Offline Business Model, that video has been updated, part 1. The video has been updated, and what I did is I created a separate walkthrough of the business model without everything we did before and the after. So it's only that, so you may want to go back through that video, and now it does have my name in there. I probably could have done it not branded the whole thing, but I did just add my name and Wrecking Ball to the end. But we could probably let them use that video. What do you think, Dave? Maybe have them edit it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I'd want to take a walk through it again one more time, but yeah, just going off memory, I think that'd be just fine.
Yeah, just might want to take another look, and you could take out the front portion of it, of the introduction, and you could use that as kind of a sales tool as well, because it's just, well, I'm just going through and explaining the business models, what I'm doing. So that's been added. That's for your, for your own use, and if we can do something for using that to educate your salespeople, then we'll do so. But let's take a look at that and talk about it.
Gotcha.
As well.
Yeah,
and
that's a good. Yeah,
also
let's do that.
Under the prospecting tools section, there is another video added as well that shows you how to use the prospecting tools. I'm not sure if Eric updated that yet, but that should be forthcoming if it's not in there. It's under Prospecting Tools tab. There's downloads, and then there's a video above it, and that video shows you how to use the new tools.
Excellent, excellent. And I just came over. We've got some hands up here, so I'm just going to go top to bottom. Daphne Houston, you're going to be first. I'm going to unmute you here. Daphne, are you there? Daphne may not want to speak. Daphne, if you wanted to jump on and talk, punch it in the question box. Edward Jerome, my neighbor. Are you there, Edward?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can. How you doing, sir?
I'm wonderful.
What can we do for you?
When they did the training for part with the buttons, there's 3 letters at the bottom.
The SPS?
Yes.
Okay.
When you make a button, there's 3 letters. One to yourself, one to your client.
Oh, okay. Do you want to hand that off to me, Dave, real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get you. I'm working on it. It's coming. There we go.
Okay. This is the email you want to send to your client after purchasing. Thank you for
My question was,
go ahead.
You guys probably have live ones. Can you send us something?
Oh,
to actually type in there?
Oh, do we have content that we can give you to populate this with? Sure.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem.
Let me go through it anyway. For those of you that are wondering what this is for, the email to client for purchase, just your for purchasing XX product. We're going to get you set up in 24 hours. Your email to self after purchase is your instructions to yourself of what you need to do. So it could say, so-and-so just signed up for this product. You need to log in the Monster, create a keyword, and add a phone number, That's just so for your own notes. Now, the content for payment can be the same as your email to client after purchase, too.
So really, it's just a great way to, I mean, whether you do them all the same or differently for tasks, you've got everything covered. So, yeah. Edward, did you have any other questions? Or?
I did, but I can't think of it right now.
All right, well, put your hand back up if you think of it, and you know where to find us on Skype. We'll get you some copy for these. Moving down the line here, let's see. I know I saw another one. Ned Johnson. Ned, I'm going to unmute you. Are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm
What
here.
what can we do for you?
Well, I'm confused with the different types of packages that we have. We got the SMS and the SPS and the mobile. So when you're setting up, is it necessary to do pricing for all three, or do we do it just in the SPS system?
Just in the SPS system, Ned. The mobile, the little mobile system is a neat little standalone tool that does a couple of things for some very specific niches, but does not integrate with anything else. It's a simple standalone. It does not have client billing. It's a 100% manual system. The SMS gateway does have billing and package control in it, because it was the deal is Chris and Ed were developing the prospecting system, and I was developing the SMS gateway, and we met each other, and we just figured out that this was such a marriage made in heaven of these two products that we have kind of gone forward. Okay, so originally the SMS system was sold separately, and when it was sold separately, it had to have some packages and some client billing in it. But if you own the combination package here, which is the only way we sell it now, then there is absolutely no need to use the billing or enter your PayPal information into the SMS backend system at all. And
yeah, let's go in this form here. This is a more responsive way to keep communication with your customers than with the Wrecking Ball Gateway. When I just showed you with the emails that go back and forth, with the Wrecking Ball, you cannot create custom emails that go back and forth. With this system, you can.
yeah, and with the Wrecking Ball backend system, there is absolutely no tracking of billing or anything at all. So you do need to create packages if you want to control your clients' functionality, availability. But I would still, if you're selling them, let's say for instance you're going to sell them contests as an upsell, you would still want to do the upsell in the SPS system and create the buy button and take the money and take the payment in the front end system. So there's really no need for anybody on this call to be entering their PayPal information into the back-end SMS gateway, and there's really no reason to be setting a client up on a paid package in the SMS gateway. But I have to leave it in the software because there is about 250 beta testers that just own that software. So I have to continue to support it, and that's why it's in there. And because it's there, I thought it was important that we talk about it.
You just flashed across the screen there the different packages and stuff. Is there any way that we could, those things could be put out so that we could actually have examples of how to put together
yeah, what you want to do is go to
for a client?
Yeah, just go to my website here. I'm going to put it in the box and log in as demo.
And then they can scrape whatever they want out of there, right, Ed?
Yep.
Okay, so and then what we'll do is we'll put that login and that link inside of the members area as well for everybody, and that way you can jump in there and see all of the demo buttons that have been created and just scrape them and use them if you'd like.
That would be great. Thanks.
Okay. Anything else, Ned?
No, that's it.
All right. Wrong on. Thank you, sir.
Dave, might be a good time to talk about mirroring keywords. I think the question popped up right after I mentioned it.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. Now, automatically, when somebody signs up for a free trial on your site, they're going to be set up inside your Wrecking Ball SMS Gateway, as seen here. Now, once they become a paid member, or let's say they want to run a midterm campaign, which is a campaign outside of the norm, they want to use a new keyword, or maybe they bought another phone number for their own business. However you set it up, you have to mirror the actual setup inside SPS in this particular instance. So what you're going to do, so let's say we create a new campaign here. Whoops, My bad. Add campaign. You want to put some describing information about the person. You can just do this. Copy it from existing. Oops. Let me run back to that. Choose your keywords. So let's say they want to use the word car. You fill out the rest. You update campaign. Now what you're going to do, you're going to come back over to your Blue Visions. You're going to click on register a new SMS phone number and keyword. So you're going to go down to that client right here, car, find the client and his number, and then add the keyword. This is how the system is going to know how to track subscribers and unsubscribers inside the system. We are creating a script that's going to do all this automatically inside Wrecking Ball SMS, and that's probably due out in the next 2 weeks. But in the interim, anytime you add more than one keyword to a free trial campaign, or if someone purchases more keywords from you and a phone number, you can add the phone number here, assign it to a member, it'll add it to this list, and then add your keywords here. From this system, too, you can also send SMS messages. I don't have this set up yet, but you choose your client, click select, and you create your campaign, and hit submit, and it'll send SMSs from here, too.
All right, and Scott says, when I'm logged in as one of my users and I click Display Creatives, all I end up downloading is a file called Open Creative PHP.
Okay, you got to set your browser to open Word docs or RTF docs. There is a mention, Dave, inside of the Skype group. There's a good program, if you don't have Word, to open this document and have it display correctly.
Okay, great. And also, if anybody I didn't put a link in the members area, and I probably should have, but we do have a Skype group of users for the Wrecking Ball SMS system. And if anybody wants to just, if you want to jump into that Skype group, just add me as a contact. I'm going to put my Skype ID right here in the question box, and I will get you into that group. Or I'm sorry, into the chat box I put that. And let's see. When somebody converts from a free trial to paid, how do you give them a new phone number?
You're going to do that from within the SMS Monster. You want to show them how to do that, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me jump back over here.
And forgive me, the name of the program has changed from the Monster to Wrecking Ball SMS, and we're trying to retire the Monster name. It's increasingly difficult going forward.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, when you set up a new client inside of the Wrecking Ball SMS gateway, let's just add a client here. What's going to happen is you're going to put in their, all of their company information. We'll call this Bob's Muffler, Bob Jones, and let's get Bob an email address here. And then you're just going to choose a number. For US, you're going to pick local number and select your state and select your area code. And maybe there's no Hawaii numbers available right now. That happens from time to time. We'll go to Illinois. And you can see you can just choose the number right here from the drop-down list, and you have to purchase a new number when setting up a client. There's a reason for this. When you do this, it will create a sub-account over at your Twilio account, and the reason we do that and do this way is when you're leasing, because effectively that's what you're doing, is leasing a phone number to a client. If that client should decide to leave you, by law in several states, you have to give the client the ability to own the phone number they've been using. So it's like a license plate, right? You have to give them the ability to take it with them. So by creating it as a sub-account in Twilio, it allows that client to port that number out of that sub-account if they should choose to keep it, and it doesn't affect your regular account. So you would have to buy a phone number right here during the client setup. Now, if you already have, let's say, a bunch of really cool phone numbers in your area code that are catchy and easy to remember, once the client is set up, you can come into the number transfer feature and you can see all of the numbers you have sitting in your Twilio account, and you can simply select one and transfer it. And if I had additional clients set up in here, I would have another list of clients, and I could pick which client to transfer that number to. So it's fairly straightforward and fairly simple.
And I want to add, too, the reason why we have all the free trials come under one phone number is because if we were to have the system automatically create the client, it could get rather expensive for you. So you're going to have everybody sharing one phone number until they become a client, at which point you're going to probably assign them a number and their own default keyword and go from there.
Yeah, and let's see. Here's a couple of more SPS. I'll pass the screen back to you, Ed, and then I'll read them out. Can members be deleted from the database?
Absolutely. Let me show you how to do that. I will do that. Might be a good time to tell you, too. I've run into this problem a couple times where people like to do good housekeeping. And they'll just come in here, check mark this. Oops, they'll check mark that, and then hit delete all. Bring this in a little bit. They'll click delete selected, and it'll take them out of their account, out of the account, so they won't be able to log in as admin. This is the admin account here. It doesn't call in any of their information except for the username and password. So if you can go ahead and customize this as much as you want, but never delete this first record up here. To delete individual records, just check what you want to delete and hit delete selected, and you're good to go.
And then how do you access reporting to show clients how many people have signed up to their list?
It's going to show inside of their back office. Let me come back here. I'll log in as demo. They're going to click on your SMS subscribers, and it's going to show right there their number and what they subscribed under, which keyword. It's also going to show all their phone numbers that they own and the keywords that they own too.
Excellent. Ralph says if we're already a First Data customer, then you're good to go, Ralph, as soon as we're set. And then there's several people that are looking for Authorize.net and PowerPay, and PowerPay can use the Authorize.net integration. We're on Authorize.net as well, folks, so it's right behind First Data. First Data was already in process, so we're finishing that one first. Yes, Norman, we have a support phone number, and I will show it to you here. I'm going to take the screen back, Ed. And if you just go right into Settings, you have to be logged in as admin to see the Information tab. But there is customer support phone number right there, sir. And it does ring through to multiple people, so you can usually get somebody, no problem. Let's see. We covered that one. Covered that one. Mark says, can you share best practices for Twilio setup, specifically managing different clients, sub-accounts, etc.? There really are no best practices, Mark, because it's all taken care of completely automatically. You can't, the only way to manage and create sub-accounts in Twilio is through Twilio's API. It has to be done through an external piece of software. So it's completely handled for you. The only thing I will tell you, let me come over here real quick and go to Twilio. I'm just going to log into one of my Twilio accounts here. If for some reason a client leaves you, I'll show you. This is where you can see all of your sub-accounts. Okay? If you click on your main account, all of your sub-accounts show up. So let's say you have a client leave and you have an empty sub-account sitting here. Like I'm pretty sure this one's empty. Yeah, there's no numbers in it. There's no activity on it, so it's just sitting here empty. You can't delete that right from inside Twilio. If you do want it deleted, all you need to do is send us a support ticket with this SID and this auth token, and we have a script that we can run that will delete that sub-account for you. Okay, but there's no client or sub-account management necessary inside of Twilio. Really, once you've signed up for Twilio and supplied your main account SID and auth token into the systems, and if you as long as you've got your billing set to add funds automatically, you really don't ever need to log into Twilio ever again. Now you can, because you may want to look at some analytics for a certain phone number or a certain sub-account, and you're obviously welcome to, but you really don't need to once you're set up. Let's see. No, let's see. I have an ongoing installation problem with accepting UK Twilio numbers. I noticed SMS installation only accepts US format code, prefix code +1. No, my understanding is that obviously I don't have a UK cell phone, but we do have several UK beta testers, and you should be able to use the +44 country code as well. With a UK number, that really should not be an issue for you. Hit me up at the support desk or on Skype, and I can put you in touch directly with somebody in the UK on the system that's been a beta tester for a long time, and that will be the easiest way to get you through it. Let's see. How can we learn more about how Dave went to 6 figures with SMS in 60 days? That would be the $1,000 a day program. We talked about that, and I will. Once again, I'll put a link to that in the members area. Let's see. We covered that one. We covered that. Edward says, I see how to change the app tools, but which ones do a trial client really need? A trial client doesn't need any of them. Really, Edward, because the trial will post inside the SMS gateway and start, doing its thing over there. But for a simple send a blast campaign, that can be handled really all completely inside of the front end system. So packages are really, again, kind of a null point. The only time packages are going to come into play is if you are going to allow your clients to log in to your SMS gateway system. What's my LBS button in SPS? LBS is another product called Local Business Solutions that is a coupon type product, and a lot of owners have access to that as well, so that's what the LBS button is going to be about inside of your login. Let's see. What are your thoughts on offering SMS as a done-for-you service versus commodity SMS service? Mark, that's totally up to you. There's lots and lots of people in the marketing community that will tell you I don't charge enough. I want to be right up front with you about that. So again, you're going to have to feel your way into pricing. If that's a pricing model that makes more sense to you and makes more sense for the way you have your business structured, then that's something you should explore. Absolutely. And we'll be more than happy to help you brainstorm it. But again, I believe in offering a very fair, very competitive price service, and sitting back and relaxing, knowing that I'm going to keep my customer no matter who else calls on them because I've treated them very, very well. Is it possible to have someone to reply to an? Is it possible to have someone to reply to SMS systems so that the user gets a message like a massage therapist sending an appointment confirmation SMS where someone wants to change the time? It's possible. It doesn't exist currently. I'm looking at right now several different options and functions to support a more automated appointment reminder and appointment making system. I can't promise you it's coming, but it is being investigated, and we should know more about that within a week or so. Let's see. In your own personal business, have you ever done packages offering a done-for-you option, like you run the campaigns and they will pay extra for that? Yes, Norman, I do that in all of my SMS campaigns. I don't believe in letting the clients run their own campaigns. I do have a couple that do it, but it's very, very low percentage, like 2% probably, actually not even. And I personally, I don't believe in it. If you're going to be a local business consultant, it is your job to handle their advertising. If you're just looking for somebody to refer them to or a system to refer them to, and you want to operate as an affiliate, this is still a great system, but there's probably a quicker way to make a dollar. If you're going to build an SMS company that can truly provide value to your clients, I believe you have to be personally involved. You have to read their messages. You have to give them enough hand-holding to where you know that they've got it. You know that they're on the right track, and then, go ahead and give them some access. But even if I give them access, I'm still directly involved in their marketing efforts.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it is run these campaigns for them, but let them see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because they're going to mess it up, and they're not going to get the results you're going to get. You're well educated, and you're the marketing expert, so right. you need to take charge and do them yourself. But then show them what you're doing, and they can have access. They can, they have their own client, back end, so they can see what's going on.
Yeah, and that's, I've already run into situations where a client insisted on running their own campaign, and then weeks and weeks and weeks go by and they haven't sent a message out. Oh, we got too busy and we forgot about it. That crap don't work anyway. Well, no, it doesn't if you don't use it. It's your job to make them successful. It's your job to make sure that any money they're spending with you is being maximized for them.
Yeah, and this is not labor-intensive work here.
Right.
You're going to have to slave over a campaign. So you just need to just spearhead it yourself and do it, Just ask a lot of questions and then take charge of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Norman says, in one of your trainings you mentioned setting up a mini site to direct people to the 30-day free trial. Do you have a mini site template that you could share for that? I don't think I think that's that was an audio blurb or a mistake, Norman. I've never done that. Chris, you didn't mention anything like that, did you?
I might have.
Oh, okay. I'll shut up.
Maybe through MobiCoupon.
Oh.
Where
gotcha.
MobiCoupon is a script that lets you. It's a $10 script that lets you create kind of coupon sites on the fly, real easy.
Right
on.
You can
manage multiple clients, and they attach the QR code to that site as well. So I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to or not.
I would have to say that it probably is, sir.
Yeah, might be better for a support ticket on that. I'm not really sure what that might be a long-winded response, and I'm not sure really what in terms of the, if you're looking for that software application, we can point you in the right direction there, and it's real easy to use, but that's a way to create just multiple landing pages with a QR code attached to that particular landing page. That would be in a directory off of the domain where you installed the script. So there's a lot of things you can do with that.
Right, right. Okay, so Norman, if you're interested in that script that Chris is using, just put in a support ticket and shoot us a reminder. I'll get you the information.
Yeah.
And Mark says, would the packages I create in SMS appear in SPS? No, they do not, Mark. Now, again, there's some further integration coming between the two softwares, but no, they do not. And they really don't need to. Let's see. And no, Mark, I understand this is a private note, but I'll read it. Mark says that he found the setup frustrating and confusing and would suggest a bird's eye overview using a flowchart and a process map, step-by-step, list referring to appropriate videos, etc. First of all, Mark, I appreciate you flagging that as private the way you did, but second of all, we have no problem being very public about those types of things. If it can be better, we want it to be better. So I truly appreciate you putting that note in, and I would love to kind of take you up on your offer and let you give us a hand with it if you're so inclined. We definitely need to do something like that. We take it for granted. You know, all three of us have installed so much software and so many MySQL databases that sometimes it's hard to get outside of your own head and give step-by-step instructions for something you know so well. So if we've failed in any way in delivering you an exact step-by-step installation process, and that's caused some people some confusion, we apologize. We're doing our best, and like I said, those are exactly the kinds of suggestions we want to hear. So please keep them coming. Is there a paid service available to install the Wrecking Ball site for us that are technologically challenged? Yes, Desmond. We actually, one of our tech support people, a great guy by the name of Phil Naus, has just today given me some forms where you can submit your installation, and he does those for us on a paid basis, and we can get you in touch with him. Watch the members area. The form should be in there tomorrow, Desmond. Let's see. Yep, covered that one. Covered that one. Covered that one. How would you go about testing the SMS system to see if it's set up and running correctly? Just test it. Just test it. Start sending some messages, start entering some clients, just test it. Everything you do for a client, you had better test it 3 times before you sell it, because there will still be a mistake. But if you don't test it 3 times, there will be 10 mistakes. So when you just get in there and start using it, it's the best way to get familiar with all of the tools and all of the resources that you have is to go in there. We've done our best, guys, to make this as easy and as hassle-free and as logical and intuitive as possible. But there's a lot going on here, and there's going to be a small learning curve with it. And the best way to overcome the learning curve is to just not worry about it and just get in there and start using it. There is nothing you are going to screw up so bad that we can't fix it in a support ticket worst-case scenario. Just get in there and start using it. It's the best way to get familiar with the system. It's the best way to build confidence, and it's the best way to test everything. Let's see. What's the best way to do a database backup to protect all install and client info? That's pretty simple to do. Let's see. Let me jump over here. Let me see, which one can I go to? Now, Ed, you're probably going to tell me there's an easier way to do this, but the way I do it is I go to my PHP admin in my cPanel, and I pick the database, and just export it. And on export here, it will allow you to choose your formats. Very frankly, because I'm not a coder and I don't really completely understand it, I usually do it twice. I do it once as a CSV for MS Excel and once as an SQL. And just export it, and it's that simple. And I'll show you what this looks like here real quick. If I do a CSV for MS Excel, and let me just open this guy up. So this is, I mean, this is what it looks like. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to most people, myself included. But this is your entire database. Right now, what we're looking at is all of the area codes that are in the database. You know, so
I'll show you an easier way to do it.
all right, let me pass you the screen. Do you want me to pass?
Go to your cPanel. Go to your cPanel.
Okay, hang on. I got so many windows open here. I gotta move some things around now. I know there's a backup wizard in cPanel, but I've never used it. So where is it?
Okay. It should be go up. Go up. All right, backups. Right there. It's the first button to the left of that.
That one.
Yep. Now, page down a little bit. Just like you click on the actual table,
Yep.
you do the same thing there. You right-click, save as, and then bam, it'll save it to your desktop. Now to restore it, all you do is choose File, go to it, and it'll restore it automatically.
So I can just go right-click here and save link as.
Actually, you should be able to just click it, period.
Look at that. That's nuts.
It's a super compressed version. Now you can choose the file just next to that on your cPanel, and it'll upload that back up, automatically done for you.
Huh. There you go.
And you can do the same thing for your full website too. Right above the SQL backup title, there's a button there that says full OPT home. Your button might look a little different, but there will be a button there. It's the same thing for a full backup.
No kidding. The things you'll learn on a Q&A webinar, huh, folks? So there you go, Mark. That's how I was doing it, and that's why it was wrong. Dun-dun-dun. Lance says support has been great so far. Thank you, sir. We're trying. Let's see. Covered that one. Jose says I get an error when I try and change the logo in SPS.
That means you got the wrong path inside a certain folder. Hand it off to me, and I'll show real quick.
Okay.
Let me open up my Expression Web. I'll show you. Might take a second here.
Ralph says, to make sure I understand this correctly, the $1,000 day system includes the campaign strategies for realtors and car dealers, correct? Yes, that's correct, Ralph. And Pierre says, can you use the phone number and voicemail and broadcasting voice messages? Yes, Pierre, you'll notice right now that has been taken out of the SMS gateway. That was very temporary. It will be back in on the next update. So we pulled it out to make sure it was compliant, and it will be back in shortly.
Okay, this is how you fix your issue with your wrong path. Go to the INC folder. There's a file called websitecfg.php. Open that up. Now, this is kind of how you set up your path. Now, let's say you have set up on a cPanel an add-on domain. That's where you have SPS. If you're using an add-on domain, it's going to look something like this. Okay? Now, let's say you're on an add-on domain inside of a folder. It's going to look like this. That's how you set your path. This, it's always going to say on cPanel, it's going to be home, your cPanel, main master account cPanel username, public HTML, and then your add-on domain, and then your path or directory. Now, if you're not on an add-on domain, you're just in a folder called SPS, you're just going to put SPS like that and save the file. Now, there's another change you got to make if you're inside of a folder. Let me go up one directory here. You're going to go into your editor folder, and there's a video in the back office how to do this. You're going to go to Asset Manager, and then you're going to go to Settings.php. If you're in a PHP, or excuse me, if you're in an SPS directory, as an example, you're just going to go to line 6 here, base virtual 10, and you're going to add a /SPS, and you're done. That's it.
Sweet. How do you track leads for reps, sales reps, or agents?
We have an affiliate tracking feature coming soon.
Okay. And let's see. Covered that one. Yeah, this would be a good one to share. When you were first starting your SMS business, which niche did you focus on? Which niche saw the best conversion? And what method was most successful for you to market to that niche? So I think all three of us should just kind of talk a little bit about that. In my case, it was absolutely realtors, and I used the stock number lead notification system and contacted them with video sales letters like I lay out in the $1,000 a day system. Chris and Ed have probably got slightly different experiences. Chris, what's the best niche for you? Chris may have muted himself. How about you, Ed?
Yeah. On my end, I've done a few LAN party businesses, which are just like businesses that sell used video games. I've done a few bars and a few restaurants. Restaurants and bars are huge because they can send one text message and they can fill a joint in under 15 minutes. But those are usually the biggest, are restaurants and bars.
Yeah, bars for me, and actually buy here, pay here auto dealers I'm working with right now. It's a lot easier to get to an owner. When I buy those buy here, pay here lots, of smaller lots. If you try to go to some of the corporate lots, you're just going to fight through a lot of red tape. But those smaller lots, there may be 50 cars to 100 cars, and they're kind of, the owner's there most of the time, or they have maybe a manager works on the weekends. If the owner's there frequently, you can go directly in and speak to the person in charge. So those are really good. You can get to a decision maker. And the buy here, pay here market is extremely competitive right now because of the economy. Everybody with bad credit, they're really trying to hit the people that have problems with their credit and low down payments type of thing. So that's a good area too.
Cool. And let's see, Mark says, how do you get short codes? Do you buy them from Twilio? Yes, you do. Also, can you explain? Yeah, there's several questions in here about the mobile SMS tool. No, that's really not what this was for. I gave that away to all of you guys, but it kind of is what it is. It doesn't really come with any business training, and it may in the future, there's a fairly decent chance that it'll be sold as a WSO as a standalone, and then there may be some more things that come with it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And once it's installed, there's training videos right inside of it that show you how to use it. And the install videos are right in the bonus area there. The SPS does not integrate with the mobile standalone. That's correct. Let's see. How can we set up a client so they have their own Twilio account and we put their number in our SMS? You would actually have to port their number over to your Twilio account, Larry. Yeah, there would be no way to do that. Plus, I don't think you'd want to. I think you'd be exposing yourself to some unwanted liability doing it, so I don't think that would be a good idea. Let's see. Let's decide from the quick start guide, will there be stuff? Yep, we covered that. Covered that. Yes, we have, you mentioned in last week's webinar you're coming out with a product similar to text message punch card. It's being worked on. No, I won't tell you any more about it until it's done. I can only tell you that it's going to be better. It's on its way. It's being worked on. We do have. Do you guys want to see a glimpse into the future on the next update? Does anybody on the call want to see that? We could do that real quick. Yeah. All right. Hang on a second.
What are you going to share, Dave? What are you going to share?
We're going to show them the text wall.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
I thought you were going to share something else.
No. Relax. Calm down. Oops. There's my Skype firing back up. I just got to dig out a log in here, and then we'll get this guy wrapped up for the day. Obviously, if we missed your question today, folks, we'll be doing these Q&A webinars pretty frequently to make sure everybody's taken care of. So there will always be a place to get at us, and you can always get pretty quick response from us over at the support desk. Let me just this is being developed and debugged and all that as a standalone, but it will be wrapped up into your SMS system. Basically what I've created, that's going to, like I said, this is the standalone version, but this is going to be an add-on. You guys will all get that. This is the text message wall, and we're just about done with it. Let me just show you how this works. You can see here's the widget that would be dropped onto the desktop, and everybody in the group. So if I send a text message to this group that I set up, then everybody in the group gets the text message. And then this wall can be iframed in to anybody's website and allow for social interaction or meeting control via SMS. And we think this is going to be a pretty slick feature. What do you guys think about this?
It's like a Twilio thing.
What's that?
Almost like Twilio a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Twilio, Twitter.
Twitter.
I mean.
Yeah, a little like Twitter, a little like Skype. Yeah. But like I can think of lots of uses for it. Church groups. It can be used socially. It can be used for sales teams to keep in touch. I think it's going to be a nice feature. And the way I've set this up is, and forgive me guys, because I'm still testing, so I don't 100% know my way around the system here. Whoops. See, there's proof. Let me do this, and when I add, you can go two ways you can either let the participants in the group pay, or it can be free. So if it's paid, the whole thing can be structured so it doesn't cost you anything for everybody participating in the group. So this will be the next new feature to be added in. Let's see. On the join our list part of the webinar, can you integrate Aweber in that area? No, this is a text messaging platform, and I don't know how you would integrate, and I'm not sure why you would integrate at this level. I can't really think of a good reason for it other than a very campaign-specific reason. And there would be a way for you to do that. I know of a couple of people that have reconfigured Aweber forms to also include a cell phone field and then tie it into their SMS system. It's not that complex to do, but we don't have it. Very frankly, guys, we have the web form builder in here where you can build a web form for your website, but I've tested paid traffic on the internet and trying to get people to opt into a text message list from a web form. It really doesn't work very good. There will be reasons to use that the web form for like certain campaign-specific things, but just as a general list building function, it just doesn't work. Very frankly, like we even offer to send out a text message reminder before a webinar, and if we get 400 people signed up for the webinar, only about 40 people will give their cell phone number for that purpose. So web forms really for SMS don't work. At least they haven't for me. They may for you. Maybe you'll find a new creative way to use it. So it's there. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. So let's see. We'll take like 2 more questions here, and if we miss you, hit us up right over at the support desk or find me on Skype, and we'll get you taken care of. No sweat. Let's see. Covered that. I should be able to get the replay up tomorrow inside the members area, Mark, tomorrow morning. And yes, Edward, we will cover, we'll put together a step-by-step install flowchart. That I think that's a good idea. Just a little mind map for the install. I think that will help some people out. So we'll absolutely put that together. So we're going to wrap it up here, and we'll have another one of these very, very, very soon. Watch your email. We want to make sure everybody's taken care of. In the meantime, you can always find me on Skype at Dave Igo. You can hit us at support@wreckingballmarketing.com, or preferably right through the help desk inside of the members area, and we will do anything in our power to get you guys taken care of. I hope everybody has a very, very good night and a profitable tomorrow, and we'll talk to you all very, very soon. Good night, everybody.